The figures were completed with the detail of a fine painting. Eyebrows, fingers, buckles, and even strands of hair were fine carved with a small thermojet torch. The carving is actually much larger than it appears from Stone Mountain Park's attractions. It's so large, in fact, that workers could easily stand on a horse's ear or inside a horse's mouth to escape sudden rain showers while they were carving it.
The Confederate memorial carving at Stone Mountain Park in Georgia is without question a magnificent feat of engineering and a passionate work of those involved in its creation. What most people are unaware of is the time it took to create this sculpture. From the moment the north face of the mountain was deeded to the United Daughters of the Confederacy to the day of completion, with a number of project halts included, 56 years had passed to that final day in 1972. There's more on site than just the carving: nature trails, a sky ride, a plantation consisting of buildings gathered from around the state of Georgia, from manor houses to slave cabins. Yet it's that carving that has become the focal point of a battle between heritage and historical fact.
Our tax dollars should not be used to commemorate slavery.
Branch President Richard Rose says his group wants Confederate symbols removed from all state-owned buildings, parks, and lands, and he would start with Jefferson Davis, Robert E. Lee, and Stonewall Jackson.
Those guys need to go. They can be sandblasted off, or somebody can carefully remove a slab of that and auction off to the highest bidder.
Yolanda Shackelford is all for a discussion, as long as it's not based on emotion.
Because we have to look at history, we have to look at how it's affecting all people. And that's my view. As you can see, we are an organization of many faces, and so we always want to consider our total community.
We love and believe in the Southern people. And we know that everyone in the Southland is disturbed at the recent developments that have taken place, with the attacks on your culture, the attacks on your history, the attacks on your identity. But I feel the need to remind those in attendance that this fight and this struggle is not based merely on history. This is a real-world political struggle. The cultural Marxist forces that seek to maintain this push for cultural genocide are very influential people that have the ears of politicians, that have the ears of those in government. And their goal is to wipe out Southern history, wipe out Southern heritage, and ultimately to wipe out the Southern people.
Let's go back a moment to that report from Channel 2 in Atlanta. Pay attention to one thing that is being missed in all this demanding and yelling.
Yolanda Shackelford is all for a discussion, as long as it's not based on emotion.
Because we have to look at history, we have to look at how it's affecting all people. And that's my view. As you can see, we are an organization of many faces, and so we always want to consider our total community.
At issue here is more than just history. Some call it rewriting of history. Under any circumstance, under any set of demands, or any desire to feed an agenda, that is wrong. There should never be a rewriting of history under any circumstance. History is what it is. It is what has already happened and must be presented in that form, accurately, without bias, and with no regard for what one person or one group wants. So therefore, let me pose a solution. The monument stays as is. No sandblasting, no changes. But all references, plaques, writings, books, documents, anything and everything about the sculpture must include all the facts. That Stone Mountain was once owned by the Venable brothers, who were instrumental in the resurgence of the Ku Klux Klan in 1915. General Stonewall Jackson, Jefferson Davis, Robert E. Lee, all graduates of West Point, and each man swore an oath to defend the Constitution of the United States, an oath they broke when they became generals of an insurrectionist army that was formed by a confederation of breakaway states who were unhappy that, among other things, they were being told they could no longer own human beings. All three men were guilty of treason against the United States, the same nation current Confederate flag devotees swear they will defend, yet at the same time protect the legacy of traitors. Jackson thought slavery was handed down from God. Lee owned slaves, had no issue failing to free them from the family plantation. Davis believed slavery was a comfort and kindness not afforded blacks in the North. These are facts. This is history. And if one believes in honoring someone and making them part of a heritage, should not all the truth be told every time without fail? This isn't rewriting history. It's called owning it in every single case. Rock on, true believers. See you tomorrow.